Hi, my name is Keith Cooper from Northlight Images, and this is one of a series of short videos that I'm looking at business aspects of photography, of being a professional photographer and actually doing it in a way that makes a profit and hopefully gives you something fun to do along the way. Anyway, this particular one, I'm going to ask a question of anyone wanting to set up a photography business is, are you of value to your clients? Now, how do you decide that? Well, one of the first things is you need to know, assuming you have some clients to do some work for, you need to know what they think of your work. And the question I always ask when people talk to me about sort of meeting clients' needs and things, how do you ask them? I always make a point of contacting clients after we've done work to check they've got the files okay, check if there's any way we can help them, and basically to try and find out what they think. You don't have to always send away a customer satisfaction questionnaire, although that's occasionally once a year if you've got clients you do quite a bit of work with. If you can sort of put something like that together, it may well fit your sort of business. Obviously, it depends on having a business there where clients come back for repeat business. Might not be appropriate for a wedding photographer to ask people whether they'd think of using you for their next wedding. But, you know, it's one of those things. There are so many photographers about, and so many people want to be photographers. You need to find a way of standing out, and you also need to find a way of knowing that you are of value to them. Because if you are of value to them, they will come back to you and they will want to use you for work. And it's as simple as that. Because there are too many photographers about. This was true several years ago. Have a look at some of my articles I've written on the Northlight Images website. Got quite a lot of stuff there about the business of photography as well. And a recurring theme over the years is basically people complaining there are too many photographers. Now, first of all, this was when people moved from film to digital. Digital was too easy. The barriers to entry were too low. Anyone could call themselves a photographer. Well, actually, yeah, I did. That's when I became a professional photographer. I had people then saying, well, photography should be a regulated profession or some other nonsense like that. That still gets raised every so often, not as often as it did for a while. I think the people who used to go by that one are sort of gradually retiring and leaving in other ways. Another one, that you need qualifications to be a photographer. No, you don't. You need business sense, number one, and an ability to take photos that people want, and that's it. There's nothing else for it. Yeah, there's lots of technical stuff. I can tell people how I made this shot of a pen nib showing these small integrated circuits on it, but you've got to have the nous to put it together, and also to find clients who value pictures like this, because they're out there. It's one of the reasons why I do this sort of work. I enjoy it as well. It makes a nice change from going out photographing buildings, doing stuff like this, but it's part of the business. So you really need to have a look at what you can do. Now, one other aspect of this is, as I said, too many photographers and that. Look at some of the, I almost hate to say better known photographers, but have a look at some better, but don't look at their photography, because you'll often find that so-called top photographers, commercial photographers and whatever, their work's not that great. It may be very precise, it may have had a lot of work put into it, it's not necessarily that great. The great images often come from working together with clients and the client's team, and it's a whole creative process. You're the person who supplies part of that vision, you're the person who creates the pictures, but when it comes down to it, a lot of photographers are not really that great at doing it. But what they are good at is marketing and having a good business. So I come across, when I do talks to camera clubs and the likes every so often. I enjoy doing them. I do, in the UK, I usually do a few a year. Obviously not in the current climate. Such talks are out for a while. I look forward to doing them again. But I come across some truly great amateur photographers. Being paid is no guarantee of being any good at photography. Taking photographs because you're paid and producing work even when it's something you're not particularly interested in, that to me is professional photography. Not some spurious letters after my name or membership of some august professional camera club. It means nothing to me, and if, from what I've found, it means absolutely nothing to most potential clients. They really don't care. It's about the relevance of what you produce and your value to them as part of what they're doing. So what you should do when you're marketing all of this, make a point of selling the benefits to your clients, not the features. I will show photographs to people that I may have taken using this shift lens. 17mm tilt shift lens, 50 megapixel camera. As I've said several times, clients really are not interested in that. They want to see pictures which look great, which look different, which get their message across. And that's where having the kit to do stuff like this really matters. Now, I've said to people before, I've taken some pictures locally, and had a client that I'd worked with here in the Midlands in the UK, and they said, can you go to Scotland to photograph a couple of shops? And I thought, you want me to go all the way up to Scotland, which is about 400-mile drive or so, something from here, if I remember rightly, stay overnight, photograph a couple of shots, one in Edinburgh, one in another town nearby, and then come back, and you want that. Why don't you get someone local to do it? Ah, well, they said, we know your work, we like the results you produce, you are consistent and easy to deal with. We will just give you the address and say we need these pictures done. The next thing we'll hear from you, if there's no need to get permissions or anything from it, will be, here's the photos, are they any good, are these what you like? And that's why. Because if they wanted to hire somebody locally in Scotland, they've got to find somebody out. They've got to find a photographer. Now, there are no shortage of photographers in the Edinburgh area. And there are some very competent photographers there. But from the client's point of view, it's far easier to go, Keith, nip up to Scotland, can you, for us and take some photographs? Now, I don't mind doing this. I quite like it. Gives me an excuse to visit Scotland. Nice place. And I'm paid for going up there. But it's always important to remember that it's what's easy for the clients. And it's for you to try and make it easy for them. So, when I see here in the East Midlands projects and photographers coming in from any distance to photograph these projects, and this is the field of architectural photography, interiors, construction, I think, who are they working for? How can I get in front of those people? How can I say, I can produce that? Well, I would say I can produce better pictures, but I can produce pictures like that. I can produce the pictures you need. And what's more, since I only live within a few miles of it, I can wait for the absolute best weather. I can look out the window and think, that cloud looks great today, go and photograph a building and produce results. That's how I can sell some benefits. I've still got to get my work in front of people. It's the biggest difficulty in marketing is the inertia of clients. But you need to be of value to them and show potential value to new clients. In other words, how you can meet their needs. Find out why they need pictures. The other thing is, depending on how you meet people, certainly some types of photography, business networking may be of help. I've never found it really useful. It suits some types of photography better than others, because in business networking I rarely meet the sorts of people who are connected to the sorts of people who might want my pictures. Not entirely so, but in usual. Create an elevator pitch that when somebody says, what do you do, why do you do, focus on the benefits. So I take photographs that help businesses make a better first impression. That's it. Lots of follow-up questions. What do I do? If I've got a camera with me, somebody may well ask. I don't mention the camera. I may have it there as a prop or something like that. But the whole point of it is to get a message across that sticks in people's minds. And always remember that you are trying to sell not your photographs, but your value to the people. Now, I hope that's of some interest. I've done some more of these videos, so check them out, and some articles as well. Please do subscribe to the channel if you find it useful, and thank you very much.